Nursing has used something called the nursing process, but for a while now, it's shifted a little bit to the clinical judgment model, and the student will need to identify what's important, what assessment data they need, how to interpret that.
To prepare their students for the revised exam, the College of Nursing gives students practice tests with similar questions to what they will see on the NCLEX.
All of this is aimed at just basic competency for every RN to say they're ready to enter practice.
Every test is different, some longer and some shorter, depending on the test taker's progress during the exam. As for the students, they tell us they know the revised exam will be challenging, but they understand the need for a tougher test.
Not every situation in the hospital that you encounter will be black and white. It is always that gray area. So even you can't be textbook oriented, it's really good to be well-rounded and be able to critically think. So when you come across that gray area, you know exactly how to handle it.
But as for the test, they say bring it on.
It'll definitely be different. It'll be much more testing your critical thinking, and I think that it'll help people be more ready to practice.
And for us, we'll feel better knowing that we're in well-qualified and safe hands. Reporting from Corpus Christi, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
I hope your blood pressure was good, Michaela. All right, access to health care can be a challenge for people who live in rural areas of the Coastal Bend, like Falfurrias. Well, that community is taking action. The city has a new building to house City Hall offices and an economic development center. Now the city hopes to have an urgent care center in that same building.
Short-term plans are to really develop that 10,000 square feet into a facility that is capable of handling a system such as an urgent care center.
And he says that's their short-term plan there. The city is working to get a rural business development grant from the Department of Agriculture. No construction timeline has been set, but the city does hope to have the center operational in a couple of years. We have some breaking news now just into our newsroom from the U.S. Supreme Court about the fate of the abortion pill mifepristone. The court has preserved now women's access to that abortion pill. The justices rejected court-imposed restrictions. The high court's decision comes after a Texas federal judge's ruling suspended the drug's FDA approval. There's division within the Republican Party as the GOP struggles to craft a unified message on that issue.
Listen, we know that abortion will constantly be a political talking point. It is, by its very nature, a highly divisive issue, which was never settled.
Some moderate Republicans fear the party's stance could become a political liability heading into the 2024 presidential election, while Democrats hope it energizes their voters. A truck involved in a fatal accident in Odessa was involved in a second crash, this time with a train. Watch. DPS troopers were investigating that fatal crash when a a train smashed into that pickup. Fortunately, no one was in the truck when that happened. Investigators say the truck ended up on the train tracks after it was involved in an accident with a minivan. The driver of the minivan died in that crash. An American Airlines employee was killed last night in an accident at Austin's International Airport. The employee was operating a ground service vehicle when he crashed into a passenger walkway. He died at the scene. Airport operators were not affected, or operations that is, not affected by that accident. The same system that brought rain to the Coastal Bend caused some flash flooding in central Texas. In Austin alone, several drivers had to be rescued after their vehicles stalled in flooded roads. One driver said his car started to float away after it stalled. The only way out was through the window.
It was really freaking scary whenever that water came up to here and you were just like trying to crawl out the window. It was really crazy.
The water was just the rain was coming down, hail started, the water was flowing through each other's cars, they was bumping into each other, people was getting out of their car swimming, so it was pretty bad.
Flash flooding, really, really dangerous. All right, so Chief Meteorologist Dale Nelson joins us now in the studio for a look at our forecast. Dale, we had a little bit of rain, some lightning, but nothing like what we just saw from Austin. Are we done with the rain for now?
Oh, we are until the Sunday, the last half of the weekend. So this is the way it shaped up today. And yeah, there was lightning up to the north outside of the Chris 6 viewing area. And we really didn't see much in the way of rainfall. 1600s at the Naval Air Station was the biggest official report. But look at all of this severe weather reported from San Antonio along I-10 to Houston and northward to Dallas. They just got clobbered with high winds and hail. But for us, we were left high and dry pretty much as expected. As we talked about here 24 hours ago, we did see a couple stray showers move through. There was also some storms down in the lower Rio Grande Valley, just out of our Chris 6 range down here to the south and west of Falfurrias in Brooks County and beyond. And again, it's all quiet in the region right now. And yes, the sun has come out. Look how beautiful it is outside now. You can thank the cold front for that. It has definitely pushed through the area and the clouds have cleared. That means it's going to be better tonight. What about tomorrow and Sunday? Lots of things happening. In a few minutes, I'll be back to tell you all about it, Pat.
Okay, Dale, thanks. About a month ago, we told you about a 5,000-mile wide blob of seaweed that was headed for the Florida coast. Well, that blob is now just off the coast of Galveston. It is a species of seaweed. It's called sargassum. It typically grows in the area of the Atlantic Ocean between the Caribbean and West Africa. Sometimes there will be huge blooms of the seaweed. Chunks of it break off and are steered to the U.S. by ocean currents. Those same currents have pushed parts of that bloom into the Gulf of Mexico, and we'll eventually see some of that in our area, in our beaches. Well, the seaweed isn't hazardous, but when it decays, it gives off a strong odor that's been compared to rotten eggs. Coming up, Del Mar College was in a partying mood today. We're going to tell you why next.
Chris 6 News at 6.
Great to see this happen. The city of Kingsville is getting a huge honor tomorrow from the Department of the Navy. The USS Kingsville LCS 36 ship will be christened and launched tomorrow in Mobile, Alabama. Well, these types of combat ships are used in shallow coastal waters and operations at sea. Plans to build the USS Kingsville were first announced on February 4th, 2019. When the Department of Defense awarded the contract to build that ship, the cost was estimated at more than $1 billion. It was a big day for Del Mar College's Southside campus.
Where are the Del Mar College folks?
That round of applause was for the grand opening of the new Oso Creek campus. The campus had a partial opening last July for summer classes. Oso Creek campus is Yorktown near Rodfield Road. That's where it's located. It's the first new college grounds built by Del Mar in over 60 years.
It's been an extremely positive result, and we're glad to have fully opened up this semester, and we've got students roaming the halls and taking classes, and nothing could make us happier.
Absolutely. Voters approved the construction of the new campus in 2016. It was part of a $139 million referendum. Students with H.M. King Army Junior ROTC today celebrated the completion of a very important mission. They presented the American Cancer Association's Relay for Life campaign with a check for just over $1,300. The JROTC members collected the money through the sale of Brahma's Strong t-shirts.
Everyone hates cancer as it is, and breast cancer is no different. And knowing that we raise up money to help, it just brings joy to their hearts.
Absolutely. Hey, last year, H.M. King students raised $1,200 for Krista Spawn Clayburgh Hospital patients who needed money to pay for mammograms.
And oh my, this is the scene from Whataburger Field. They've got a game going on there tonight, and it is absolutely beautiful as the dry air has finally moved in behind our weak cold front. What does that do to our weekend forecast? I'll tell you next.
Now, your Chris 6 weather forecast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back, and happy Friday as we take a look at our weather almanac for today. The low was 72, the high so far 83 degrees, and no rainfall, as we were expecting it to be on the slim side, and it certainly was across the region rainfall-wise, as the atmosphere pulled all the moisture out of here to the storms up to the north last night and this morning. 82 degrees right now, northeast winds at just 10 miles an hour. What a great evening we have underway after a pretty cloudy day here in the Coastal Bend. Things have turned around in the last 2 hours. A great night for a ball game, too. As far as the temperatures go, it's 78 in Orange Grove, but warmer out to the west and in the 80s there, while it's 75 over in beautiful Port Aransas. Here's a look at our weekend weather. 65 tonight, 81, mostly sunny tomorrow, and the wind's not bad, and then 71 and 75 on Sunday. The rain will be likely here on Sunday. Take a look at the Doppler radar, and you'll be able to see we had a couple showers this afternoon in parts of Jim Wells and Duval County. They were light. Severe weather happened down in the lower Rio Grande Valley, but that is all gone, and nothing for us either here in the Coastal Bend. So with all that in mind, the clouds have cleared out, sinking air behind this, and it's all systems go for Saturday and tonight. If you have outdoor plans, tomorrow is your day. Take advantage, because a disturbance is going to roll in here behind this front and result in rain here on Sunday. So plant something tomorrow, and you'll be rewarded with that nitrogen-rich rain falling on it here on Sunday. Let's take a look at it, and you can see on the future tracker, again, trying to show a little bit of rain there in Kingsville, but that's not happening. It's all over with. We'll pick up a few clouds here in the morning, and then a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. We'll still call it mostly sunny, and then as we move into tomorrow night, it clouds up pretty good as the disturbance approaches the area from the northwest, and that's going to fire up showers and thunderstorms. There they are. Some of these could be heavy and perhaps severe about 4 a.m. on Sunday morning, and then that goes through. We have sinking air behind this, and then we will see additional activity here Sunday afternoon. And again, this is pretty profound and will lead to some pretty high rainfall totals here across the region. So with that in mind, east winds here tomorrow turn southeasterly during the afternoon and ignite these storms that come in here on Sunday. So again, a wild weekend weather-wise, and something we haven't seen in a while. Rainfall amounts generally between 1 and 2 inches. Some areas will see more, some south and west, perhaps a little bit less. So we'll put this all together for you on the 7-day forecast. At least we'll try to do that with our, this isn't really showing up here, but let me try to show you the 7-day real quick. And the fact that tomorrow looks great, as we already saw, and then Sunday, it's going to rain, and so if you want rain, Sunday's going to be a fantastic day too, and temperatures will be more seasonal here over the next 7 days as well. 75 on Sunday, 79. The rain ends Monday and Tuesday, warms up Wednesday, and more rain on Thursday. Pat?